Hey everybody, Phil Easy here. Today I wanted to take you back through the garden, see what's happened. We're about a month after the last video and just wanted to get a visual update on how things have progressed, what's worked, what hasn't. So you can take a look back and see some initial tours if you're interested, and you can see the progression of the garden through a couple different stages. At this point in time our peas are done, they're gone. I haven't pulled out all the vines yet and processed, but the last thing we did in the garden here was planting some buckwheat as a cover crop. Check out a previous one of my videos there if you're interested in how you can use buckwheat to replenish and rejuvenate your soil. So I'm just going to take you through a walkthrough now and show you the various things. Squash and pumpkins. This used to be a very bare area, but it's amazing how it can fill in. So at the front of the garden here we have the squash and pumpkin plant. At the front of the garden here we have the squash and pumpkin patch. It's progressing, it's taken over the area. It used to be very bare. It's always strange when you first put the plants in and they don't seem to cover anything. But as you can see they've spread out and taken over. And when we take a peek, what we find is we find the actual pumpkins in here, and they're getting quite large. This one's already starting to turn, it looks like. Ouch, very spiky. Our volunteer sunflowers are continuing to do their thing. Seeing lots of bees in here. This morning I noticed a whole bunch of birds. So I'm assuming that some of these sunflowers have now ripened and are feeding those guys. So I mentioned in the previous video we had done a cover crop. This used to be the spot where the garlic was. After we pulled the garlic out, hung it and cured it, we had this bare area, and I ended up planting a whole bunch of buckwheat, as you can see, and that we're going to let grow. I'll do a video on buckwheat, take you through what to do and when to kill it and how to use it. But that's doing quite well. Our outdoor cucumbers did all right. There's quite a few big ones in here. I'll try to show you. I'll just grab one. So that'll give you an idea of maybe the length of it, but they didn't grow very big, the bushes or anything. This is part of the experiment, was to see how that would go. The cucumbers are quite large, as you can see. I don't know if you can see, but there's another one. A lot of them are this size. I still prefer the greenhouse technique myself. I can control it a lot more. Swiss chard, too much. Don't know what to do with all of it. Still have our bees coming to our borage. The borage has collapsed, it looks like, a little bit. We had a lot of rain, or a bit of rain recently, but it was really hot for a while. Further back here we have our onions that look like they are pretty much getting there, starting to flop. Here's our lettuce, letting it go to flower and seed on purpose. You can check out a previous video on lettuce and how I propagate it each year and grow the strongest of the strong. And then the area of the peas used to be, and where I need to take out a couple rows of peas. Oh, and there's also the potatoes. We've been eating lots of potatoes. They turned out really well too this year. But as you can see, the potato plants themselves are pretty much starting to flop here. But, oh, I see an issue over there. We have some green potatoes. Here's where I can have a conversation about hilling your potatoes. Done a lot of experimenting with it, and at the end of the day, the only reason to hill your potatoes is to avoid what's just happened here. You do not want to eat green potatoes. They're no good. You can see the sun, where it was exposed above the soil surface, has turned green. And I actually had that happen to a few here. So I would have been good to have come and hilled these when I had noticed that they were being exposed. But thankfully we only have a couple that did that, so that's alright. We'll just keep pulling up the potatoes as we eat them right now. We'll pull the whole crop out as we get later into the fall. So there's the veggie garden, guys. Alright, and here's I'm going to turn this fan off. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, guys, but I installed a inexpensive fan just to try to keep when it gets really hot in here, try to keep the air going through. Well, again, I'd look back on some videos to see where this thing started. I mentioned it was going to grow to the ceiling, and it looks like it's happened. Our tomatoes are starting to ripen on the bottom, and we have some really good sized tomatoes this year. I'm really happy with this. So pretty soon, probably within the next few days, we'll do our first canning of these tomatoes, because you can't eat all these. No matter how many Greek salads you want to try to scarf down, you're gonna run out of space for tomatoes. So we like to can them, and I'll take you through that process when we do that. You can see the cucumbers here. They're wilting a little bit, but this is a pretty normal process that I see happen almost daily when it's sunny out. I don't worry too much about it. Got lots of cucumbers coming off of this. As you can see with the vertical training I've done, it's really easy to get to your cucumbers, find them, pick them. There's not a lot on the ground. It's a very clean way of growing cucumbers, I find. And then last but not least, we have our peppers, and they're doing well as well. You can see the size of them. This is a gypsy brand or variety. I like it because it's mild. My kids don't love spicy peppers yet, so I tend to grow some mild ones, but these are like a bell pepper, but just, I don't know, we prefer them. And then the one other variety I have is called a matan. It's back here. You can see it's a bit longer. These ones are we wait until they turn red. They're a sweet pepper, and they're really nice too. And then just here's the other side of the tomatoes. Maybe I'll take you down through the tunnel that's been created by the tomatoes and these cucumbers growing all the way up. You have to literally crawl through this is the only problem. But what a wonderful little green tunnel to get to crawl through. And some borage I have in here. Happy about this because it brought more bees in, as you can see, one right there. And they'll also pollinate all the plants in here. So there's the tour of the vegetables. It's around August 11th or so. And yeah, glad you guys could join me. Check things out, see where things have progressed and grown. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button below, your notification bell. I'll continue to put out videos as I have more content and things I'm doing. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye.